Baby, I understand the reason. I'm waiting for you to join. I'm waiting for a few more people to join. Now, shout out to everyone in the comments. Let's have conversations. So now, it's Friday, so it's Love and Appreciation Day. When you talk of evolution, this is when something turns out to be either a heaven or a nightmare. So we have a list of what we call the vessels that you can inhabit in the spiritual world. So these vessels is what we call the dimensions. So we are talking about the 1D all the way to the 9D. So I'm going to explain them, and then I'll jump right into the live, and I even explain why. Right now, kuna watu wanalia TikTok. Right now, as we are speaking, there are people crying and shedding on TikTok. And so we are going to make today, Friday, all about love and relationships, based on the fact that Liebekiki ako TikTok akilia. Okay. This is, you call her Liebekiki. You know her as Liebekiki. Anaitwa Didi Kihoti of Vestments Wear. She's on TikTok right now crying. She has like over 500 people wanamwambia pole. She needs help. We are going to help her because we know her as a personal friend. Okay? But before we get there, so that we don't have other people crying, we'll talk about it right here. Okay? Sijui nimuinvite, maybe I should invite her to my live, akuje live, but then ataleta a lot of tears on this page, and we don't want to do that. Also, I don't want to be what you can call a relationship therapist. I'm a teacher, but I don't want to be into that. That's too much, okay? Wacha to deal now what is happening. Let's deal with the root cause instead of curing. Let's prevent instead of curing. Curing is a lot of work. Now, so this is how your evolutions happen, or this is how you decide if you're going to be in a heaven or what you call a nightmare. So the one-dimensional being is the spiritual world, aka this is where it's nothing but a line, okay, a timeline, a linear, okay, whatever you want to call it. That's the spirit world. Now that's the first world. Now, because at this particular moment, it's still the oneness, it's still, you say God is one. So the 1D is the spirit world. aka it's nothing. Anything can take its own shape, way, or form. It can go anywhere. So now, when you fall from the one, or when you become the one, like Jet Li or Neo in the Matrix, or when you become aware for the first time, whether it's the Big Bang, or you are born, or it was a sperm, or God created you, or He made you from that, wherever it comes from, by default, that means now we have an awareness. So that is creating what you call the 2D, the two-dimensional. So the 2D, the two-dimensional is the soul, aka soul from the word solo, single, your soul representation of the overall, aka how you see the world. God created you, so how you see the world for God, how God sees the world through you, so that becomes the soul, the 2D. Then the 3D becomes the body. So 1, individual, spirit. 2, soul, you have divided. Now you have what? The body that you have created. So the 3D is the body. And the body is the mind. It's what you're calling God. So God is in the 3D. Now, the 4D is the oversoul. AKA, we talk of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everything happens in 3. So now, the 4 dimension is the oversoul. Is the spirit now experiencing itself as an oversoul. AKA, now you have a thought about yourself. Okay? 5D, this is the planet. How you feel about what you have created. 6D, this is the star body. This is God. This is the sun. This is the head eye. This is the creator. That is why 6 and 6 rhymes. The joining of two energies to create another. So you have 1, 2, 3. Okay? The physical. 4, 5, 6. The mind. So now 7 is the spirit now for the third time. So this will be the solar system, or what you call your highest natures or your layers natures. That is why you call God number 7. Then you have number 8, which will be the galaxy. The soul again in the third. So the first one was spirit, 1D. Body, soul. 2D was body, and then soul. Body was 3D or God. So therefore, spirit in the second. The soul in the second will be the planet. And the body in the 6D becomes the sun. Now, tukienda ya tatu, everything comes in 3, sindio? Tukienda ya tatu, now the spirit now, which was 1D, in the third now becomes what? A solar system or a spirit. 8D now, the galaxy, Samsung Galaxy, 8D, becomes what? Soul 3. And the verse now, the body, the God, the truth, becomes soul number 3, which is 9. And that is how you multiply it and get to it. Now, let's have a story. You've heard of stories. You have heard someone like Dolly Parton akiimba akisema, and my pool of many colors, my mama made for me, and my pool of many colors, my mama made for me. So she's singing about her pullover of many colors. Okay? So Dolly Parton akiimba about the pullover of many colors, she's singing about a pullover she has kept all her life. Everybody has that one thing that refuses to age. Hakuna mtu ananga kiatu ijaisha unasikia karatu kaka kwa negate nagatithiraga. Pay attention, everything is spiritual. Hey, gari ino yako wari ni yatene na ndikuraga. Pay attention. Who's Silo? Ginger? Why are you pouring like that? Maybe she wants me to touch her. Or have a pussycat in the house. So, whenever you have something that is really beautiful, hiyo kitu haizeekangi. But the reason is not because hiyo kitu haizeekangi. The reason now is deeper, because the reason is whatever you channel, channels you. I repeat, whatever you channel, channels you. Whatever you don't give attention to flows away from you. Whatever you give attention to comes to you. So tumesema tunaongea maneno ya relationship na vitu kama hizo. Okay? Whatever you are paying attention to will channel the same energy back to you. The observer and the observed are the same thing. So when you have someone and they are drifting apart, don't blame them. It is you who's not channeling them. So they are not channeling you. You are giving them that as a by the way, based on the fact that what society has taught you. Maybe society has taught you that to love someone or to be with someone, then you have to be in the same house with them. You know, because we are living in a world whereby everything that you go to is regurgitated, it's external. You are going into the light, and you should not go to the light. You should come up with your own way of dealing with things. Like I said, this is a new world. So we have to come up with new ways of relating. And most of the time, we do things based on the fact that you are thinking of how you'll be judged or how people will see you based on society. For example, when it comes to relationships, you think that relationships have to be in a certain template. AKA, if I love this woman, if I love this man, then I have to be with them. Then I have to be married to them. Or I have to see them every other day. But that is the template that you have been given based on movies, based on books you have read, based on things you have seen, based on what you have been taught, but nothing is coming from within you. Nothing is coming from your true self. Most of you don't even know how to live your true self. You don't even know how to be your true, authentic self. You have never been your true self. Anything that goes around comes around. And you have to learn how to program any situation you are going into so that when it does the full cycle, ni wanasemanga karma is a bitch. When that thing goes the full cycle, when it comes back to you, it comes back to you again in a good way. For example, let's say we meet in whichever situation or circumstance, whether it's a one-night stand, whatever the thing is. Let's say we meet and we fucking. I'm giving an example. I have good dick discipline. If you have gotten my dick, that's a privilege. Okay? And so the encounter, I'm giving this an example. So I want you to take this example and also use it or run away with it. So program every situation that you are in to go in your favor. Whatever situation and circumstances that you are in, you have to program, because this is your program. Program that program to go in your favor. What do I mean? So you must know your internal energy. Your internal energy is what you are channeling into every situation and circumstance that you are in. So you have to program yourself to think and feel that every situation that you are going into is going into your favor. No matter what the shape, form, or person, place, or thing, situation, or circumstances that thing is. Let me give you a better example. Let's say I'm having a drink. When I'm having a drink, okay, I have to program that drinking that is going into my favor. It doesn't matter kama nakunywa chang'aa, it doesn't, it have to go in my favor. AKA, you are doing mental witchcraft whereby whatever I'm doing is going in my favor. That's the thing. That's the trick. You have to be spiritually strong enough to think and feel that whatever you are doing is going in your favor. Let's say you are buying some pussy. You are a man. Umeenda Kinyuma Nairobi, umepita hapo Kirinyaga Road, umepita mahali umeona kidema hapo nje, unapita kando ya gari unapita, umeona hiyo matako boss na nasikianga hapo ni 200 unapita. Let's say, remember the live we did the other day where we are talking about temptation will always overcome your willpower. Okay? If you are not healing. So let's say now you succumb to the temptation, unafanya ka 360. And you go and you pay for that pussy. Okay? There's no problem with paying for the pussy. Because in any case, even the pussy that you go and treat and do all these other things, you're still paying for the same pussy in one way, shape or another. Na bado hata pengine unakula na protection if you're in that world. So when you're going and paying for that pussy, as an example, not the best example, you have to program your mind that whatever you are going to do with her is going into your favor. It's favorable for you. It's mental witchcraft. So when that is, this is now where it comes into play. What goes around comes around. Karma. So if that energy goes, you don't know what she becomes after. You don't know whether you'll meet her, whether your path will meet her in another spiritual world, in another realm. You don't know. Okay? Our paths cross for a reason. So the next time your paths cross, whether in this lifetime, incarnation, whatever. So the energy that is going to come back to you, the karma, will be to go in your own favor. Whatever that situation or circumstance will be to go in your own favor. However it looks like, you don't even know or have to understand. It will have to go in your own favor. Because that is the energy that you put in. The energy that you are putting out. What you are putting out is what circulates and comes back to you. What goes around comes around to you. This is why they say, weka oru nweweika. Jikana jika itiri maruru. You get where the saying is coming from. So whatever relationship you are dealing yourself in, whatever situation or circumstance, people, places and things that you are in, always remember that you are programming that situation to be always in your favor. This is how you also don't get karma. So this is even how the people who run the world and they are doing bad things don't get karma. Because to them, whatever they are doing is in their favor. That is why a country like Israel, okay, the best country in the world, the Jews are the best people in the world, they do whatever they do and they get no karma. Because whatever they are doing as God's chosen people, okay, which they consider as a good thing, will come back to them. But since they are God's chosen people, they believe it has to go into their own favor. So they never get karma. This is deep spiritual game you should learn. And we have no schools for these things. We have no places to hear these things. So you have to understand how to program these things. Remember, you are the 13. Because you are the one who's observing your soul going through the 12 signs of the zodiac, of what you call the 12 houses, or the 12 tribes of Judah, or whatever constellations you want to call them, aka you are the I am, Aries. You are the I have, Taurus. You are the I think, Gemini. You are the I feel, Cancer. You are the I will, Leo. You are the I analyze, Virgo. You are Libra, I balance. You are Scorpio, I desire. You are the I see, Sagittarius. You are the I use, Capricorn. You are the I know, Aquarius. So you are the creator. You are not the creation. You are the I am, Aries. I'm going to get this pussy. You are the Taurus. I have this money to pay for this. You are the Gemini. I think it's going to be tight. I feel a good feeling, Cancer. I will, Leo. Maybe last one more minute here. I analyze as I leave the place so that no one sees me. I feel nothing about it, or I feel guilty, I balance, Libra. My desire, Scorpion. Seeing the situation, traveling, Sagittarius. Na vitu kama hizo. So, now that we are in the new age of Aries, we are not even in the age of Aquarius. So, people are no longer believing everything that's outside of them. People are starting to know more about what's going on in front of them. Ndio maana akina Morara wanaita hizi expose. Ndio maana watu wameanza kuboeka na gava. It's not a coincidence. We are in a new age. We can now see the corruption in the government. You can now see the theft of billions every day. Now everybody is waking up. Every day now polisi anaenda na chapa mtu unavunja gari yangu kioo kwa nini? I know you are a police, but who gives you that audacity? So we are now in a world where people are starting to know more about what's going on in front of them, which makes people distribute into what you say the information into the I know. Now let's talk about relationships. That was just to, I like preparing your mind. I like stroking your mind, make your mind a little bit wet so that we are not on a normal channel. This is not a small-minded people's channel. Just a second. Hiyo ni paka imeangusha nini nje. Mafuta yangu ya avocado. Ikakimbia. I have a stray cat inaitwa Sparkles. So I have avocado oil drying in the sun. So imekuwa ikikuja inakula hiyo mafuta ya avocado. The cat comes inakuja inalick mafuta. So nimesikia container imeanguka, nimejua ni hiyo. Forget about it. So now that we have gotten your mind prepared about that, now let's talk about relationships. Wenye tumeongea about karma and you programming every relationship that you come into. And this also explains why women who would be on the street corner selling their pussy, depending on the mind frame that they go into the business, one will succeed. Na munasema vizuri sana tamakathomithitie ciana ciake nao maraya tamenya akitio go nao, and you don't even hate her based on the fact that everything she's doing has to go in her favor. You see the difference? People like Vera Sidika, you know that she's whoring herself, but it's going in her favor. Akina Huda Monroe. Why? Because I don't know what her name is, Huda Monroe, whatever her name is. Because the moment you are getting into this thing, you have to program that thing to go in your favor. So it doesn't matter whether the customers coming to you are gangsters or thieves or whatever they are. When the world is a cycle, when that karma goes, whatever they go and do, whatever situations and circumstances they put themselves to, when that energy, same energy comes back to you, it comes to you to go in your favor. Sijui kama mna get. Sometimes I lack words to give you what I'm trying to make you understand, because sometimes you don't have the right words in this world. Those things have not been constructed. So everything that you are doing, program yourself or put yourself in that thing thinking that this is going to work in your favor. It doesn't matter how it looks. It may look negative. It may look low vibration. I wouldn't suggest you be in low vibration, but it may look like, what is this thing? But always program that thing to be, it's going into my favor. There's something good that is going to come out of this. And that's how you balance what you call karma. Karma. That's why you say karma is a bitch. And karma is a mermaid. Ukisikia mtu amesema ameona mermaid, you have heard of African stories, the fables, where they say that kuna watu kienda kwa mto, we go to the river, they see a woman who looks like a fish. Now that's the physical representation of karma. You get it? That's why they say karma is a bitch. And it's a wave. That's why even the representation will be like feminine, with a fish tail to swim, because these are conscious waters. Okay? So the key word is favor. Not actual favor, but things to go your way. Because you have what you are calling a favor, for you to be favorable for you, for someone could be hell. So just think about things that are going to work for you only. Favorable for you. It's for my own good. Get what I'm saying? It's for my own good. That's the thing. That's how you do it. So yesterday we were doing Q&A. na hiyo live ikakatika. So we are going to do Q&A for the next maybe 14 minutes or so, or 30 minutes. Don't ask hiyo swali ya flag tena. Hiyo flag ndio ilifanya tuanguke. I got a call just before remember we got the Bible yesterday. We opened the Bible, 2 Bibles. I got a call, disconnected. He called again. Nikachukua hiyo call ndio nimwambie whatever I'm speaking. That call went south, down, aka that call was heavy. So that call went Aguiscodec, Upper Hill. By the time nimalize nirudi nikakuta live imeanguka. So don't ask that. We not talk about flags. That hiyo ilikuwa inatupeleka too deep and you're not ready for that. Okay, don't ask about flags. Let's talk about other things. So shout out to everyone. Let's have a conversation now. That's out of the space now. Let's have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that sounds better. Let's have a conversation. We said it's a Q&A, so I'm waiting for your questions. Yeah. Yes, you can do. Yes, you can. You can do evil. What you are calling evil. I don't know the meaning and representation of evil. But for self-protection, I don't know what you mean. You can do evil for self-protection and it works out for your favor. The people who run the world, they do some things that you cannot even like think about. Like the morality of them is so wrong. But nothing happens to them. Based on the fact that when they do it, or the same way I said it, they think they are doing it for their own favor. So they have learned how to program things to work in their favor. AKA, I'll give you an example. We have cancer. We have diseases that affect everyone nowadays. And the people who do that intentionally, but to them, they believe that they are doing the right things. I'll give you an example. The other day, Bill Gates was talking, and he was talking about how they need to, maintain the population of the world at a certain number. So to them, that's a good thing, because they look at you like no matter what you are given, you are not going to take care of that thing. So they look at you like you don't deserve it because of how you act out of character. So they look at you like the Gentiles. That is the meaning of the Gentiles in the Bible, the people who are ruled by their genitals, aka their desires. I'll give you an example. You may hate on the white people because, and I'm only using white here for the live, is not to say that white is a white skin. But you may hate on the people who come and they have private beaches at the coast. You may hate on them. So you are going to call them names and say, wamekuja, wamechukua beaches there too, we don't have. But what happens when you are given a public beach? You litter the public beach, you leave plastic behind, you don't pick after yourself. Go to any school gathering, go to a parents' teachers, school visitation. The children are taught to pick litter in school, but their own fathers, wakikuja shule, what do? They don't even put things in the garbage. They leave the place worse than they found it. Let me give you another example. When you go to your own bathroom, you clean it up. Hautumiangi vibaya. When you go to a public restroom, you fuck it up. Let me give you another example. Weekend, tulikuwa tumeenda Kikuyu Love Session. Pale Elysian. Poor sound, beautiful crowd, the people were amazing and everything. It was upper price for what the people were offered. It was shit. Okay, we've been to for the last 9 years, I've been to almost all festivals in Nairobi, so it was shit. The first Kikuyu Love Session was better. The way walikuwa wameweka tent na kila kitu, the last one was shit. It was not worth it. Okay, it was shit. But where they had put the ladies' rooms, ukienda na hapo, the girls, because they have been having a few drinks, hawakuwa wanaenda to the toilets. So they were peeing in the grass, which is okay. But after peeing, walikuwa wanaacha tissue hapo. So they were not considered that kuna mtu atakuja kuclean na atakuwa anakuja kuclean their tissues. You get what I'm saying? So there's no problem peeing in the grass, wangekojoa kwa grass, but take your tissue with you, put it in your handbag, put it in your pocket if you're not going to put it in a litter box. Now that's an example. Now, toka hapo kuja back to the world. So akina Bill Gates or the people who run the world, they look at you like you don't deserve these things. Give you an example of Karen. I'm 5 minutes away from Karen. When Karen had the white people, it had order. There were no hawkers. I'm not saying there is anything wrong with hawkers. There were no kiosks. There were no vibandes zinapikiangu hapo hizo gari za kuenda Karen number 24. It was not chaos. It was Karen as it was a city. When the black people as now started going to the town, the wazungu packed and left. Wakauzia kina Murkomen, wakauzia the Buga, the Africans who feel they have gotten money, wakaenda Laikipia, wakaenda to the ranches. Now you go to Karen and it's disgusting. Why? Because we have this mentality of not maintaining things. So the taxes, the punitive things they put in measures are because we are not governing ourselves. You following? Now, tutoke hapo sasa, tuende into the Bible. Let's go deep about this, on how they don't even get karma on themselves and how they program their surroundings, or how you are supposed to program whatever you are doing, whatever situation. So when it comes around, what goes around comes around, you are safe. When you go to the Bible, you will find the first GMOing of the people. AKA, you are going to fast the first. It's in the Bible. The first polio drink is in the Bible. You are going to find it in the Catholic. It is called the bread and the wine ritual. Wine is made with yeast. That is why when I make my wine, my hibiscus royal wine, it has no yeast. Bread is made with yeast. But the people who learn the world, they know about this. So what do? They eat unleavened bread. Unleavened bread without yeast, but wewe unakula mkate ya yeast Broadway. So they gave you the thing and you ran away with it. So I want to talk about this. So yeast is slow death. So when you want to control a people's population, because these people are living chaotic, these people are the Gentiles, okay? What do? You have to come up with something that everybody is going to take without knowing what is happening. So yeast is synthetic. Yeast does not come from plants. Hakuna plant ina produce yeast, hakuna mti ina produce yeast, hakuna matunda ina produce yeast. So you have to understand a lot of the times that these things are made. So they create yeast, which is a hormone. Yeast is a hormone, a synthetic hormone. And this hormone is going to create imbalances inside you. Inside you. So it makes you think too much. It makes you feel too much. Bread makes you think too much. Yeast. Yeast makes you feel too much. Bread is the #1 cause of obesity. If you want to lose weight, unaambiwa nini? Uache mkate. They say leave wheat product. It's not the wheat product. It's because most wheat products have yeast. Wanajua hivyo, wanajua unakulanga mandazi, wanajua unakulanga mkate, wanajua utaenda ukule pizza na zote ziko na yeast. Bread is the number one cause of obesity. Bread is the number one cause of cancer. Bread is the number one cause of sexual confusion. So if you're a male or you're a female and you are sexually confused, you don't know whether you are a he, she, then it means you have a lot of bread. That is why you get what you call the gay thoughts. A lot of the people who, they don't even know whether they are no men or female, it's bread. But it's not the bread, it's the yeast. We call them the soy boy. Okay? They have small dick energy. Because everything you are eating has got bread, which is yeast. So let's say that you are too emotional as a man. It means you are eating too much bread, but it's not the bread, it's the yeast. Let's say you are a woman, now you are too much into your feminine. You are a female now. You are too much thinking now. You are thinking now you're into your masculine. What are you doing? You are eating too much bread. So they made bread a staple diet for a reason. Na unasikianga mashida mingi ukitaka kuacha wachana na mkate. Si mkate, ni yeast. Yeast is a hormone. Wine has got yeast. Anything that has got yeast in it, yeast is a hormone. So yeast was the first GMOing. The first polio shot. It's in the Bible as a witchcraft. That is why they lift bread, and you have to understand how this world works. So the bread is what even makes women grow mustache. Ukikutana na mama anamea nywele, all she has to do is stop eating bread. Nywele zinaisha. Because the yeast goes into your blood, but your blood makes its own yeast. Remember that. You make your own yeast in your own blood. You have your own yeast as a hormone. Yeast nimekuambia ni hormone. You make your own hormone. Yeast. But when you start adding too much of it, what does it do? It slows down the yeast in your own blood flow. So your blood starts getting stopped. Your blood starts getting stuck in certain areas. So this is how now you start getting minute blood clots. This is how you start getting cancer cell. Because your blood is too thick. Now you have to go to the hospital. Now you have to start getting bloating. Now they start telling you that you have something else. This is why you are always tired. This is why you're always getting something illnesses. This is why you are even always getting yeast infections. Bread. My daughter is 9 years old. Ametoa matiti. At 9. Kwa nini? Bread. Yeast. Can she avoid yeast 100%? No. Is there a possibility she has gotten too much yeast? Yes. Why? Huku kuna kulangwa nini? Kuna ngwashe. The mom makes her own bread without adding yeast and everything. But she goes to her auntie. They eat bread. They go eat pizza. Akienda kwa shosho yake, mugate wa mwana. Akienda shule, anapewa bread. You see, so it's hard to escape it, but at least now once you know, do I eat bread? Yes, yesterday I had bread. I had a toast. We had not made bread at home. But when you know what you're doing, now you are a dangerous person because now you know. Before you didn't know. Now you know. So now you need to find a way to flush yeast out of your blood. Because you have too much yeast inside your body. And yeast or the bread is like a slow death. So when Bill Gates, okay, what's the comment? When Bill Gates is coming and saying, and shout out to Bill Gates, he's the best man. Bill Gates have given you everything good. Bill Gates is a very important man in the world, you know. Shout out to Bill Gates. Okay, PlayStation 5, Game of War, and all that drama. So when Bill Gates says that they need to reduce the world population, that's a very good thing. So before, because we didn't have this, they had created bread and wine as the yeast. So wewe tafuta benye unaweza flush or reduce yeast inside you. We're in a new world. Right now I'm making products to flush these things out of the system. Those who have been drinking my wine, you know my wine has no yeast. Natural fermentation. Why? Because I walk the talk. We can create a world where we are having drinks or eating whatever things we want to eat, but they are not detrimental to us. When you want to reduce the world population, pole pole, what do? You shorten their lifespan. So my daughter is 9, ametoa matiti at 9, meaning she has matured before her time, meaning she has shortened her life. At the end, her life has shortened because she's added to maturity, added to death, added to decay, added to weathering, added to aging, and her internal organs failing early. You get it? So the people who do that, they do that because they look at you and think you are living out of chaos. So when they are putting the energy, when the karma comes around, it does not impact them negatively. This is why they can produce mosquitoes to kill you. This is why they can bring things that can kill you, but they are still living. Because the world or God is not what you do, it's how you do. So you can keep saying, na watu wabaya wakufange wawezi kufa, because they have learned the alchemy. That whatever you are doing, as long as you are doing it with that thing coming back to you as something working for you, you don't get karma. So this is the point of Pilate witchcraft in the Bible, where they made him commit suicide. Ponto Pilato alienda ati akaosha mkono akasema sio mimi, then he went and committed suicide. Remember, this is not an external story. So when you betray your own soul, when you betray your own solar plexus, when you betray your own spirit, you get to feel so guilty that you take your own life. That is what it means for Ponto Pilate going and getting rid of his own his own soul. Okay? Si na kwa nini Muratina inakuanga na yeast? Yes. Kwani meaning is a traditional drink? Does that mean that it is safe? Who gave you Muratina? You think Muratina was your drink? Muratina was not your drink. Muratina is the Southern Kikuyu mumeletewa hapa na wazungu. It's not a traditional drink. You are the Southern Kikuyus. Huh? You are the good news Kikuyus. Like the Bible, the good news. You are the good news Kikuyu. You are the Southern Kikuyu, Gekuyos. You learned your Kikuyus from the whites. It was written in books. It was taught to you. Niona mama mwingine jana nafunza Kikuyu hapa TikTok, ameanza na lesson 1. Ati salamu, we mwega, we mwega, we mwega Hawaii, we mwega. Hiyo hakuna kitu kama hiyo, hakuna greetings kama hizo, hakuna kama we mwega Hawaii, hakuna kama we mwega. Hiyo si Kikuyu. Because you're already asking if you are good. So you're already starting from a negative. So there must have been something negative, bad, for you to ask if you are good. When you go with the truth, the greetings would be, we mohoro, are you calm? We mohoro. Mohoro meanings, are you calm? Are you floating? Okay? When you ask me what I'm doing, if someone was to call me, true Kikuyu, wamudhaka, jega, nikioreka, what do I tell them? Unaona mumeanza report page. You see, you have started reporting the page because now I'm talking the truth. So the Kikuyus now are reporting my page. Unaona nimeanza kupewa strikes hapa. Ati this is harmful. You see, because this is the thing, you will never be liberated because you are close-minded. So you think Kikuyu is the only way. So any other tribe belongs to the devil. Any other religion, it's only Kikuyu, and this is where you go wrong. You should be open-minded. Whatever I'm saying, I'm not even saying is right. Be open-minded to learn. Then decide, wait a minute, is that making sense? If you ask me what I'm doing, Ekoyo, what will I tell you? Deha derete. Nino kurera. What is kurera? Kurera is floating. Floating, like the clouds. I'm floating, kurera. Because you are in esoteric waters. And when you are not floating, you are swept by the waves. So you are suffocating in your emotions. You are suffocating in your feelings or your thoughts. So, I'm floating. That's more positive. That's now going with the truth. Not the good news. We mwega rosini. And now people are clapping, hey, good for the lessons. No, that's now the Southern Kikuyu, aka, are you good? Kwani was I bad? You good? Who gives a shit? I may be good, I may be bad. It's the world, you know. Duh. We are in waves. Sometimes you are sailing high, sometimes you are sailing low. Forget about that. So, yeah, it's always your own people who report. It's always your own people. It's never anybody out there. It's never anybody out there. Okay? It's never anybody out there. So, your Kikuyu is learned from Dr. Leakey. Why is he called a doctor? He had a doctorate. Dr. Leakey, a doctorate. He was in university. So you are learning, imagine you are learning from a white person, the Southern Kikuyu. Na wakutanga pale, and shout out to Madhaga Raibara, na wakutanga hapo wakisoma, the Southern Kikuyu. Imeandikwa na mzungu, Dr. Leakey, the Southern Kikuyu. Sasa, you are learning Kikuyu from a white man. Na unaona umejua Kikuyu sana. The Southern Kikuyu. Mavukuma megoro mono matatu ni giritu edi. But that's not the conversation. That's a story for another day. Okay? That's a story for another day. So, we have the good news stories, just like the Bible. We have the good news Kikuyu, which is the Southern Kikuyu. And now we have the truth, which has been shunned. What do you mean? What do you think the Gira wa Iregi means? The Gira wa Iregi. Iregi is the people who refused. State House. The Gira wa Iregi. Iregi, the ones who said no. But you are shouting, hey, the Gira wa Iregi. Huh? Iregi. The people who refused. So what did they refuse? They refused the truth. So they went with what? The Southern Kikuyu, the good news. That is why they picked the church and combined them. And they say, de moeko mo Cristiano, hakuna kitu kama, you can never serve two masters. You can never serve two masters. De moeko mo Cristiano. That in itself is false. You cannot be two things. But because he's on radio every day, given a timeline, and who funds that program? The church. Of course, it's on the radio, so you follow. The mass is propaganda. The Southern Kikuyu. And I'm not even talking about language. I don't even want to discuss that because people are not even ready for those conversations. You're not ready for those conversations yet. Okay? You're not ready. So, even the Muratina, hata jana, I think ni jana Munga aliweka, there's a difference between Muratina, Meratina, Keratina, all those are different things. So pombe yenyu mnasemanga ni Muratina. Na muka ugati Muratina ne dathimi. Ne dathimi. No, Muratina ti dathimi. Because Muratina ni karobo is just alcohol. Dathimi, iyo dathimi inakuanga prepared ya kurathima. There's a special way that it was prepared kuenda igongona. So hata nyinyi mkienda igongona muitishe Muratina na hapo inakuanga bado ni Muratina, si dathimi. So you have to do alchemy. Mimi ukinituma Muratina nikienda nikichukua before nikuletee, I don't even have to ask you. Najuanga wewe unataka kuenda kufanya nini. So I have to do my own alchemy. Speak, transform that water for you. Juwe utajua utaenda tu na Muratina. Ni dathimi, it's not dathimi. Tondu ndinekirwo ya kurathima. Tondu yagonde gwikirwo ni mwene ya kurathima. The father, the priesthood. Ndio anafaa kuweka. Si ya kununua useme ati ni Muratina ni urathimaga. Ndurathimaga uri endagia ya kulevia, anauzianga watu wa kulewa. So it's not specific edathimi. Na njikidagira thima kwanyu na tuwamuhiriga wanyu. I don't want to go into the Kikuyu whatever. Let's stick to the language, to our nini. Let's stick to the live. Let's not go into that because that biasness is now what is making the Kikuyus hate. So they are not even going to, they'll always be stuck in what you call those generational curses because they don't want to learn. Okay? How do you flush out yeast from your blood? That's a beautiful question. First, I want you to go into Google. Put that question. They must have an answer in Google. Ukishamaliza kuangalia Google how to flush out yeast from your blood. Remember, your blood produces its own yeast. So you're not flushing yeast from your blood. You are flushing the excess yeast. Then you'll be okay. So you stop eating bread with yeast. You start, kama you have to eat bread yenye haina yeast, kama unaweza make a leavened bread. If you can't, then look for alternatives. That's one way. The other one is a product I'm working on, so you have to wait until I'm done with the product. It's a product for flushing out yeast. So I have to do a lot of going outside and sitting and letting nature will tell me. I'll see. It is going to show me how it's done. That is why ukienda uweke mkate pale nje, unaweza kuta hiyo mkate even after a month haijai kuliwa na kitu. Social experiments. So I'm doing my own social experiments with bread. Naiweka nje, nakuta bado ilikauka, hakuna kitu ilikula. Naweka toast juu ya windowsill, nakuta after 3 months hiyo mkate haijai kuliwa hiyo toast because it has yeast. So even the insects, wadudu hawataki kukula yeast. So I've been social experimenting to see how to make bread that the moment nimeiweka chini imekuliwa na vigiridi na vitu kama hizo, then reverse engineer that. This is alchemy now. Reverse engineer that, and then anyway the information will come. The information will come. We'll find out how it is going to come. Okay, fasting helps. Yes, fasting helps because fasting is killing. When you fast, you are killing the old cells. You are regenerating. So to exercise, when you go to the gym, to exercise is to exercise. When you go to the gym and you are working out to build bigger muscles, so what do? You are tearing down your body. You are loading your muscles with so much weight that you are tearing down the muscles. Okay? It's in pain. You are breaking it down. You are killing it. You are destroying it. So when the muscles is healing, it creates stronger cells. So what you are doing is that you are killing the old cells. Exercise. You are exercising, killing the old weak cells so they can give birth to stronger ones. They are adapting. So now you have bigger muscles of a bigger booty, Brazilian booty, whatever you are working on. So to exercise is to exercise. So you sweat, okay? That is why if you're having a body odor, if you get a skipping rope, puss na kuona sana. Pussy na kuona sana. Don't go to the kitchen. So when you exercise, you use a skipping rope and you sweat. You are exercising. Eventually, you start having bad odor because you'll have gotten rid of the dead cells within you. You don't mask it in a deodorant. You kill those cells. They are old and tired. You kill the old cells. You kill the old you. You kill your sons and daughters. You kill your descendants. You kill your witnesses because they are old. They are not supporting you. This is what it means that God will kill the first sons and daughters. Your thoughts and feelings that don't serve you. You have to kill them. So now you have a new glorified body. That is why you go to the gym. To exercise is to exercise. Okay? So, atrazine was the chemical sprayed on crops that confuse the hormones. Let's look to another comment. Most wheat is GMO now, though. Hi, Amanda. Let me see. How do I get your wine? You can order my wine. Moringa pounder detoxes might help. Yeah, moringa is a good thing. Let me see. We say there's a Q&A. So I'm looking if there's a question. I've jumped the Jomo Kenyatta logics. Yeah, those are their mindsets. They followed Kenyatta, Facing Mount Kenya. I have the book called Facing Mount Kenya. Is on my bookshelf. Okay? And when you pick Facing Mount Kenya, as you begin, everything is not even hidden. Wewe ndio utakange kusoma, inakuambia vizuri sana. Okay? Inakuambia vizuri sana. This is an illustration. Imekuambia, this is an illustration of Jomo Kenyatta being led into detention. It didn't say this is a picture of him being taken. This is an illustration of him being taken to detention. It's a book. It's entertainment. And so they drew him with people holding guns, taking him to detention. He was not taken to detention. It's an illustration of him being taken to detention. I have personal friends. I won't mention which country. They are supposed to be in detention, but they are home with their family. Today, as we are speaking, I talk to them on the phone. But on government books, they are in detention. But every day, they are paying $1,500 every day to the prison staff every day that they are not in jail. Ako kwake na familia yake. You get what I'm saying? It happens. In today's modern world, you have seen people wakiambiwa wako na house arrest. House arrest. How can you be under arrest na uko kwako? Akina Ellen DeGeneres, all those artists, ati unaona amewekwa ati kitu kwa mguu, ati asihepe. So, what do you mean I'm under house arrest? Arrest ni ushikwe uwekwe ndani. They play with your mind. So, it's an illustration of Kenyatta being led into detention. He was never in detention. He was in bed with white women in 1949 and 45. Alikuwa anazaa na wazungu. Mkisema mnapigania liberation, alikuwa anazaa na wazungu. Do you know what it means to sleep with a white woman before country independence in the 1940? Do you know what you had to be? You had to be one of them. Not just a collaborator. You had to be one of them. You had to be one of them. You had to be one of them. And shout out to white meat. All pussy is valid pussy. So, when you are learning, understand that the victor will always write the book. It's never from your own point of view. You know, I can show you something right now that will fuck up your mind. Ndio mpaka utajiuliza, wait a minute, we have been fooled. I can show you pictures hapa, videos of so-called Mau. Ati jamaa anakuja amekimbia. Nilidelete hiyo kitu because I was given a strike for putting it on TikTok. Ati jamaa anakuja, kamera imewekwa vizuri, inakuja. The camera is not shaking. Imesetiwa, kamera inakuja imesetiwa. Ati jamaa amekimbizwa na home guard, anaingia kwa nyumba, anatokea ukuta ya nyuma. Camera is set specifically, wanajua kwenye atatokea. Anagonga ukuta ya nyuma, boof, anatoka, unashindwa. Wait, kwa nini nyumba haikuwa na miti? Because if I can recall back, nyumba ya matope yote, no matter how strong I am today, siwezi bomoa nyumba ya matope. Inakuanga na miti, inakuanga na vikingi na miti na matope venye imewekwa. Niko na nyumba ya mushroom ya matope. There is no way, even my own car, hiyo nyumba ya matope, even if I'm driving at whatever speed, siwezi tokea ile side ingine. Yet, we have pictures of Mau akiingia nyumba ya matope amekimbizwa, anatoka na ukuta huko nyuma, anaenda anaruka mahali na akimbizwa. Yet, ni picha ya black and white na tumewekewa to believe ati hao ni Mau walikuwa wanakimbizwa. The world is a stage. Wake up. Understand that this world is not what you think it is. You have been fooled so many times from birth that some of you cannot even. Let me show you what I mean. Sababu najua hata nikiongea. Let me see if I can get a video here, and then we can analyze it with you. Then mkaniambia, oh shit, I didn't know. Let me find it right now. Mind controlling. Let me find it. Let me find one video here. Just one. Let me find it. Just one. Let me show you just one. Let me get on TikTok and find Kenyan history on TikTok. Just one. You'll be like, man, how? Because I have to remind you how to see it. I have to remind you how. If I don't remind you how to see it, you'll not see it.
So go do that job. Go learn a trade. Go do something.
Shut up.
I'm teaching myself to not overplay my role once I learn my place in people's lives.
Kenyan history. Just one video. Just one. Just one. And then you'll be like, what? Hatukuiona hivyo. History mumepewa ni yake. Netangwa his story. Then you are going to start looking at your culture in a different way and asking yourself, what? Wait a minute. How comes I never saw this? Let me find it. Let me find it. So, we have a chief. He was called Paramount Chief Kinyanjui. In 1903, he was posing with his wife for a picture. In 1903, he was posing for a picture with his wife, Paramount Chief Kinyanjui. 1903, ni picha inasema, he was posing for a picture. You do not pose for a picture if there is war or chaos. You can only pose for a picture if there is collaboration or mumeskizana or these people are your friends or you're on the same side. And there's a specific video I'm looking for you. Let me go to the videos. If I don't find it, then I'm gonna stop it because it's gonna take too much of our time for nothing. Hiyo ndio nilikuwa nataka the best. Uniambie, why is a man going and hitting a wall na anatokea the other side of the nyumba na kamera imesetiwa na mwenye anamchukua video assuming it has to be a white person, mbona yeye mkimbizi ama ajaribu kumshika, ako na time ya kukaa hapo record? Who was recording? Na usiniambie kulikuwa na media. Usiniambie the work of the media si kuingilia, because media has been paid. The media is part of the government. That is how they get to you. Back in the days, they used to have what is called downtown. Downtown. AKA, since they didn't have television, they used to have puppet shows. Puppet shows. So the puppet shows, they would put puppets on their fingers, and even in those puppets, they would show the rulership, those in power, and those being ruled in the puppet show. So the programming started early. Puppet shows. It used to happen in downtown. And this is where they put the first city clock. The first city clock. The first city clock. Go to your town. Look at where you have the first city clock. That is where they started the programming. Which will be what you call City Hall. You walk out of City Hall. Go to the city clock. That is the first shrine. Then from the city clock, look to the east. Start walking to the east. You're either going to find a Mason lodge, you're either going to find a synagogue, or a church, or a Masons, or whatever. Then those are the first people who came together to create your city. Go to City Hall ya Sakaja. Toka kwa mlango, face east, start traveling. Holy Family Basilica, hiyo kanisa mnasemanga ni ya Masonic, na the Jews temple ziko line moja hivi. So that tells you the people who are ruling you, when they looked east, they put their altars there. Hakuna ya Gikuyu. Kuna ya Gikuyu? Hakuna. Then behind that, the Girawa Iregi State House. The Girawa Iregi aria maregire. What did they refuse? But this story is not about the Kikuyus. This story is not about... I don't like talking about these things. They just waste too much time because you already have been taught your history and you go with your history. You know, you go with what you have been taught and you die for it because it was made important. And it hurts to wake up one day and realize that you have been lied to for so long. It hurts. Trust me, it hurts to see the programs every day. It's painful. When now you think, wait a minute. In 1920s, we didn't have what we call portable cameras. We didn't have solar cameras. So who was in the forest recording Mau Maus? in 1930s. Ati with guns, the Mau Mau wanaambiwa, wake up, wewe, inua mkono. In 1930s, where were those cameras? Yet I know that the latest cameras I've seen for video during the Moi era, they had batteries this side, zilikuwa inaekelewa kwa hapa. So, what were those cameras back in the 20s using to be recording, and in quotes, deep in Mount Kenya jungle? So it was not deep. Because how are they charging? How are they moving inside the jungle? So it was a play, it was a stage. Ni kitu ilikuwa inachezewa kama hapa nje, but then you are told is in a jungle. It was a green screen. The same way today you are watching movies of thousands of armies, 300 men, and the whole movie is shot in a stadium. Green screen. Green screen today, a small bush back in the day. It's very easy to fool people. But no one is thinking like that. So who was this who had the time to record the capture of the Mau Mau? How did they know the Mau Mau will be on this side to mobilize cameras to come and record? Na wamevaa nguo, kumbuka wamevaa nguo. So where did they get the clothes? Those Mau Maus, where did they get the clothes? Ati wamevaa koti, the detention camps. Then, the same story, tunaiona wapi? Germany. At the same time. At the same time. It's happening in Germany for the Jews. Hitler is happening in Kenya. So it is the same story around the whole world being recorded. Different names. Kenya ni Mau Mau, kuna wengine walikuwa wanaitwa jina ingine. But then when you look at it really seriously, you're like, how comes the people who are being persecuted in Germany, they run the world today? How comes the people wenye walikuwa wanaitwa Mau Mau ndio wana run government leo? Unasema ni akina Mishoke. So what is happening? Were the Mau Mau the freedom fighters, or were they the collaborators? Are you ready for that conversation? Were the Mau Mau the freedom fighters, or were they the collaborators? Because ask yourself, who owns 90% of Kenya? Kama ni akina Kenyatta na ndio mnasema walikuwa Mau Mau, how comes wao ndio wanaown and they were not in the forest? Akina Mishuki, akina Tigoni hapa. So where did the word Mau Mau come from? Who told you the meaning? The white people. The Mau Mau, a terrorist organization. Oh wait, I've heard that before. The Taliban, a terrorist organization. Wait, I've heard that before. The Boko Haram, wait, I've heard that. Wanamugambo, Wenembi, Ukali, I've heard that before. So, wait, I've heard that before. It's called gang stalking. It's created. You work for the government without knowing that you're working for the government. The people who run the world are 1,000 steps ahead of you. If my intention is to run the world, don't you think I would be 1,000 years ahead of you when it comes to mental manipulation, to maintain rulership over the world, to control billions of people? Don't you think I wouldn't be investing in everything to make sure that I remain in power? To get to heaven, you have to go through man, aka logic or thought. You have to think. Shout out to Phil. Phil knows about psyops. So, the word Mau Mau is not what you have been told it is. The word Mau Mau came from the word Mau. Mau. Umai. Umai. Mau. Mau. Umai, aka get out of your houses. The collaborators are coming. So those collaborators start called the people Mau Mau. Those people who call Mau out. Mau! Umai! So they labeled them as terrorists. The people who were calling them out. That is why they ended up with nothing. Because they were calling them out. That is why you have nothing. Because you have been calling out your government. Even today, you are still calling, asking where your children are. You are still receiving the short end of the stick. Story for another day. Ama uende usome pale archives. Enda usome ya archives. Go and read the archives. That sounds better. You know, it's a good news. It has been regurgitated. It has been in their books. Their books, their history, their Longman publishers. So it sounds better. Mine is garbage. I'm saying, let's go back to the questions. Forget about that. Okay? Forget about that. It's love and appreciation. It's Friday. Let's talk about love. You know, let's forget about land. Forget about land. Let's talk love. Let's talk love. Okay, let's talk love. Forget the freedom fighter. What do you have? You are still fighting for freedom. You can't pay for electricity. You can't pay for your water bill. You can't pay for your land bill. You can't pay for anything. What do you have? You have nothing. And you're happy. Still have nothing. People have land the size of countries. People own islands. They didn't earn that money. No one has earned that money. Okay? Give yourself grace. Stop hating yourself, trying to compete with thieves. This is spiritual gang stalking. Okay? Yeah, shout out to Amanda. That's a lot of physical. Imagine recording in the 20s, chasing people in the bush. They were not chasing people in the bush. They were shooting a movie. They were shooting a documentary. The Mau Mau are giving the famous Gidadi ritual. The great Gidadi ritual is where we can witness. Do you think there would be anyone who would allow white people record them taking an oath? You don't think. You don't think. What is an oath? An oath is done in secrecy. So what were they doing outside? Paraded in a forest, pretending to be taking an oath. They were dramatizing how an oath is taken. So you seeing and believing, since you are lost on their programming, you think, oh my God, this is the Mau Mau, because you are given a symbolism. It's called Jewish literature. Masonic art, the art of creating something into an art. Jesuit intellect, the Jesuit intellect, they come with the intellect. Create a movie. What? Create a drama. Create a drama. We say those are the Mau Mau so that we can show them, they can see how they work. Okay, that is the Jesuit intellect. Jewish literature. How do I write it? Write it down like this. The Mau Mau, the terrorist organization, blah, blah, and then call the Masons. Come here, Masons. You do the arts? Yeah. You do the movies? Yeah. You're the people who drew hell as people burning? Yeah. And angels with wings, because when you're in your angelic moment, you are light as a feather, so you need wings. Wings is to fly. The feather is connected with flying, yeah. And when you are dark, when you are lost, when you are deep in your desires, there's an accumulation, so you are dark, so you have to draw an African as dark, burning in hell, or as the devil, yeah. You can do that Masonic art, yeah. Now, come on here. Here's the paycheck. Do this. Create that. Now, let's create... When you are lost in your desires, you feel like you are burning up, so you are in hell. Okay, now draw fire. You know, being lost in your emotions, fire. Being lost in your emotions, fire. You know, you tell someone, man, I'm burning up. You know, I'm sweating. This bill is making me sweat. So it's fire. Draw a fire. Jesuit Mason, come, draw a fire. I've drawn a fire. Now, draw a white being and put some wings on it. Wings represent thinking, air. So by default, since wings is to birds, is to air, that seems to go up, is lighter, so that's more angelic. Okay, then those are angels. Put them there. Now, draw that other one. What do I do? Come on, add some horns. Jesuit. Come on, Masonic art, add some horns. We know horns is animalistic because you can kick people with horns, add some horns. Put a tail. Put a tail on him. Yeah, now give him something to turn the people in here. Now, that's a beautiful picture. Now, put it in the Bible. Put it in the Bible. It's symbols. Put it there. They're going to believe that. Yeah, put it there. So they put it there. Okay? So they create a movie. The Mau Mau are seen taking an oath. Who was sitting down as the whites are recording? And you know everything. Remember, even you, when you are making a simple movie with your phone, you think before. You don't just take and shoot. You are thinking of editing. You are thinking of angles. Even when you're taking a picture, you tell the person, now the sun is behind you, turn. And remember, you are not being paid. You are not a professional. But you consider, no, come on, the angle, no, come closer, no, come. Yet, you're not a professional. Now, think about a professional who has been tasked to create a movie about the Mau Mau. He's looking at angles, he's looking at the light, he's looking at lights, camera, action, go. So you see someone black coming with knock rules, goes into a hut, he's waiting. You can even see the heart shaking. But because you had now go and look at those videos now today after this live, you'll be like, oh shit, man, they have been acting all along. Yeah, the world is a stage. Ati anaingia nyumba ya matope, anagonga ukuta, anaanguka nayo, boof, anatoka nayo yote. I'm like, wait. At that speed, ameingia mulango, he has come out from the back, na akabomoa nyumba, na akaenda akaruka fence, na wenye wanamkimbiza, they should have been shocked. Oh shit, I've never seen anyone go through the hole, but they are not shocked. They come through the same hole, chase him with a gun, and jump the fence. Cut! We got them. Put it there. Yeah, they are lost in the left brain. Why? They write from the left to the right. What do you mean? It's mental witchcraft. Every time you are moving from the left to the right, you are using the left brain logic. But the left brain logic controls the organs that are above, the right side of the body above the waist. So this will be the organs. So you cannot believe unless you see. You cannot believe unless you hear. You cannot believe unless someone speaks. Because you are programmed to write from the left to the right intentionally. So the organs control are the organs above the horizons. So you have to touch to believe. You have to see to believe. It's witchcraft. Yet the chosen people of God, they write from the right to the left. They are programming their subconscious, their psyche, their clairvoyance, their clairvoyance. They are practicing the other senses. You are told the 5 common senses. You forget all the other senses. That is why you drive on the left side of the road based on your location and how they program you. Or you think it's a coincidence. Why should you drive on the left side of the road? And you are told it's a law. Yet, when something happens on the road, and the only side to use is the right side, we all go to the right, and we don't even collide. So, there must be a program. There's a reason why you write from the left to the right. It's not a coincidence. There's a reason they want you to be right-handed. Children in school, they are left-handed. The parents are beating them. Stop using that hand. They even tie the hand so that the child who programmed you that you have to move from the left to the right. The left brain that controls the right side of the brain or the organs above the horizon. So you have to see to believe. You have to hear to believe. So you don't know that these things can come to you from within. But the Bible tells you to go within. That's why I drive in the center of the road, on any road. Unless it's oncoming, I'm always on the center of the road. If you find me on the bypass, the white line is always between my car. I take the center path. I used to love enjoying driving to Marsabit because the road is deserted. Because driving to Marsabit, I'll be driving on the right side of the road, the oncoming side, from here all the way to Marsabit. Because you can see the road for miles. I will only go to the left kama gari nakuja. Hiyo gari kimaliza kupita, I go to the right side of the road because I'm deprogramming, I'm learning, I've been so programmed. So I'm deprogramming my mind to not think like that. When I come to roundabouts, I don't do roundabouts. If I can avoid, I turn right there. Even when there's cops. Sometimes they are confused. They're like, wait, that guy is that guy from this country, but by the time they think I'm gone, because they cannot believe that tunaweza kuja roundabout baada kuenda round upigie hapo urudi. To them they're like, either that must be a policeman, but who cares? I don't know whatever they are thinking. I'm done. I'm done. I only do the roundabout if I am forced by the circumstances. There's a lot of things to unpack, but that's for you anyway. You don't have to unpack right now. Supposed to be doing Q&A. I don't like teaching because this goes too far. Okay. PlayStation 5, Xbox. Most that are spiritual don't want to share it. Do you think the church is the real Antichrist? The church is a building. So ask the right question. The church is just a building. And even if you are going to the church, the same Bible is telling you that God does not need a building built by people's hands. So you're already walking backwards before you even go very far. The book is telling you that God is in a temple not built by men's hands. So if you are walking into a building made by men and buildings, so you're already a walking contradiction. So I don't even need to be wasting more time on you. What you're seeking is within you. So the moment you step out of the house going, you're already walking backwards. So I don't even need to spend time with you or try to convince you. Religion will always be with us. There's nothing wrong with religion. Okay? There's nothing wrong with religion. Religion is what creates regions, locations, legions of men, legionaries. All the way to Akina Reggio Maria. Now what you do in those regions or religions is up to you. You can come together for something good, but most of you don't come together for the good of anything. The government, the word government came from the word covenant. Covenant is what gave you the government. There's nothing wrong with the government if the covenant that you are coming or creating is something that is going to find us cures or peace. But the government is there to divide you. So all these pillars are there if you know how to use them. You're supposed to use those pillars, but to find solutions or to make the world better. And for the last 300 years, it has not been doing that. Okay? PlayStation 3. We are talking about video games. Okay? We are talking about video games. PlayStation 5, Xbox, God of War. We are talking about video games, GTA. Okay? GTA. Shout out to Gadoni. What about Dedan Kimathi? You really don't want me to go into Dedan Kimathi. Trust me. You don't want me to go into Dedan Kimathi story. You don't want me to go into Dedan Kimathi story. I told you about karma. I told you about how they don't get karma. Because Dedan Kimathi is not dead. They have been telling you for all along that he was missing. Missing. What do you mean missing? He was buried in an unmarked grave. Unmarked grave. Do you think a terrorist wanted in Britain everywhere would be buried in an unmarked grave? Do you think that is possible? So you are listening. He was a terrorist, Dedan Kimathi for the Mau Mau. You go to the Taliban. You hear someone called Osama bin Laden. He was buried in an undisclosed location in the sea. Do you think? Yet, they have shown us that they like hanging people in public. So why is it exceptional for these few people? Epstein committed suicide. There's no tips to show it. Some people are said to have gone into a submarine. There's no bodies to show it. It's the same energy updated. Witness protection didn't start yesterday. Witness protection started a long time ago. We are going to give you a state house, a building, anything you want, and a salary. Go live your life. We'll keep up the story that you are buried in an unmarked grave. If a national hero was so important Tell me why he's buried. We have DNA, si ndio? Tuko na watoto wake. He's buried in Kamiti. Tell me why we cannot move inmates. Inmates don't mean shit. We have locked them up and thrown away the key. So take the inmates, wahamishe kwa jeshi, kampi ya jeshi, take them to Kenya Air Force ama wherever, kiwanja, wakae hapo mwezi moja. Now bring government machinery, the National Youth Service, they have the best excavators. Excavate the whole of Kamiti prison. Any bones we find, we do DNA. Tupate the Kimathi. See, national hero, but we can't do that. Why? Because he's nowhere near Kamiti. He's nowhere near Kamiti. He passed on just the other day. He was living large. He was not even in the country. Maintain a story. Okay? And that is the reason. Remember, if we do not find your remains, you are always classified as missing. 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 You can only be classified as dead if we find your body. I've heard the word missing in action. I've heard it in movies. Masons, come here. Come here. You came up with the term missing in action? Yeah. You created movies? Yeah. You showed us in movies people are disappearing and going to live their lives in the mountains until they are needed? Yeah. It's called going off-grid. Yeah, we came up with that. What do I need to go off-grid? All you have is an unlimited amount of money, and you are given everything you want. If you want women, we provide the women, the liquor, everything you want. We give you what you call diplomatic immunity, and you are set to go. Oh, what else can you come up with? Witness protection program. How far can it go? We can move you into another country. I mean, we have embassies all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, I like it. Yeah. So we have someone in mind. Who? This person. How are we going to cover up him? Bring him here. Bring him here. Put him down here. Put him down here. Put him down here. Take a picture. Yeah, he was shot. He was injured and shot. Take a picture. Let him blink for the cameras. Let him act very injured for the cameras. You know, very injured for the cameras. Okay, yeah. Put a picture. Yeah. Okay. But then what, we respect him. We create a story. Come on. It's easy to fool these people. Now take the most radioactive material that you can find. Go and pour somewhere and say that is why he was shot. They like crazy stories. They make the story believable. Say where he was shot, nothing can grow. Is that possible? Come on. Go into the lab. Get some radioactive material. If you have something that kills weeds, they don't grow. Go and pour it there. Then say where he was shot, nothing grows. Make them, they like spooky story. Make it happen. But it's hard for your ears now. It's very hard. Because everyone has ears. But we're not here. Even someone who's deaf, they have ears. So it's not the ears that hear. Ears don't hear. These are just ears. A deaf person has ears. Ears don't hear. The Bible says they will have ears but don't hear. Welcome to Friday. Beautiful stories. Beautiful stories. Okay? Beautiful stories. Beautiful stories. You see it in the movies. You think it can happen to you? So it only happens in the movies. Indio, it's only in the movies. It's only in the movies. Yeah? It's only in the movies. In the movies, they fake people dying, right? In the movies, you see, they were faking his death. Oh, they fuck with your mind. We remember him getting shot. Then you are showed how he didn't get shot, or how he was shot and he was wearing a bulletproof. Then he took it off and he got a new life, and people went and buried some new body. You can rent a body from Nairobi Natural Mortuary. We have so many unclaimed bodies. They don't have to see the body. You can say the body was totally disfigured, or it was not put in a good foundation, so it was starting to rot. They'll believe everything. Just call someone is called the government auto spy. We are paying him to say whatever he wants. He works for the government. Tell him to say it's him. Yes. So he was buried in an unmarked grave. So who are the people who did the burying? So they don't have a sense of direction. Hawezi sema is that corner. So they didn't know which corner. So you're telling me someone of national interest, they don't know the corner he was buried, eh? Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, tell it to the birds. No, tell it to them. Put it in books. They're going to believe that. You know what I'm saying? So I've been late for that 90 minutes. So I should go now. That's enough. Okay. You are crying for heroes dying in movies. So you are sad of Kimathi story. Why were you sad? Yeah, people are not sad. Yeah, it's hidden in plain sight. I'm happy if Kimathi was not hid. Why? He was killed in the mind for most people. Okay? For most people, he was killed in the mind. It's called, there's a name for it. It's called character assassination. It's called character assassination. So the Queen Elizabeth character assassination. PDD character assassination. Will Smith character assassination. It's called character assassination. Your character, your persona can be assassinated, but you are still alive. But people will no longer come to that for strength. Kama saizi unaenda kusikiza, do you think there's any young man who can now go to Tyrese for advice? Na anashinda akilialia. Do you think there's any young man who can go to Will Smith, even after watching him for Bad Boy with Martin, namskize? Will Smith is none. His wife is fucking Will Smith's children's friends. Inaitangwa character assassination. Okay? Yeah. No, they are not immortal beings. Their children continue. Their children continue the narrative. The same way nyinyi mnasema hiki ni kĩrĩra kĩa maithe maitũ ũndũire witũ. Even their children are continuing their narrative. You get it? It's not that they live forever. They don't live forever. They die like everybody else. But their children continue the narrative. The same way now, mukona the Southern Kikuyu, they are continuing the narrative of the collaborators. Usokia roe mukaro. Kuna rujua mnarudisha mukaro. Utiri kĩndũ ta kĩu. Ti mũracokia nĩkĩ? Rwarutĩtwo no rũĩ, na rũĩ nĩ rũĩ harĩa rũgeraga. The river will always flow where the river flows. You can't do anything about that. Okay? So the same story updated. Even them, their families are upholding the same stories. Ona mara maintain kĩrĩra kĩao. Ora mara maintain kia maithe wanyu. So kĩrĩra kia maithe manyu. Aikoro kiari weak, no kio mara maintain. The Southern Kikuyu. Regurgitation of knowledge. Irua tiri ya Mũgĩkũyũ. Mũndũrũme Mũgĩkũyũ ndaruaga. Nĩ kũũo oagwo. Kũũo means to peel. They would peel the foreskin and store it under his dickhead. Hapo. Agatigwo na ngwati. Ngwati ĩno nĩyo yokaga kũhihinywo. Ndio itoyo maji yote. Kũgathwo mũnagatho. Ũcio nĩguo warĩ wĩra wa mũnagatho. Kũgatha ngatho. Akahihinya tũmaĩ tũu tũkauma. Nĩgetha gakahil. Now, after initiation, when they were healed, they would go and find that woman who they would go and exercise. Fuck that woman to see whether their gwati has that skin is not falling off. So agiathire afuck the woman and he's not bleeding. Ha niko aukaga agacokia ngatho, gucokia ngatho, agakora mũnagatho, akamwĩra you repaired my cock so well. Nidacokia ngatho. Nyumuga ni twacokia ngatho. What is wrong with you Southern Kikuyus? Tondu irua rĩo kana mũthũngũ, irua rĩa gũte ngode, throwing away the foreskin. Hiyo ni irua rĩa mũthũngũ. Ati thirĩ wa cũcũ, hiyo yote ni ya mzungu. We never used to do that. Hiyo ni Southern Kikuyu. Mothe ni maũndũ ma thingira wa iregi, government and church. Twathi irua rĩao. Moiko akaga kindu gitagwo kugerimo gerima tawa awa. Kugerimo gerima tawa awa. Gerima is marking, kumark. Gerima wa boli na vitu kama hizo. Bana sasa juu kuna wazee wanavaa nguo za brown wanaongea hii kitu, and because they are old you are supposed to respect them. Your knowledge is shit. You don't know shit. You are regurgitating knowledge that you don't even know where it's coming from. You are maintaining the old generational curses and trauma because you know not. He who knows and knows not, that's you. You are an example of what you call the blind leading the blind. Macokia ngatho. Thiucokerie mũna ngatho ngoro nĩ akũhinyire. Okay? Gwĩtagwo kũwo, gũtiarĩ irua, nĩ kũwo. You cut the foreskin because spiritually you are supposed to be buried with all your body parts. You're not even supposed to be doing what you call postmortems. Okay? So, since they knew the spiritual aspect of that, and also the fact that when you are doing ko, it was spiritual, you have what you call a toroidal field, or your aura. And sometimes for spiritual shortcuts, kama wenye wanakulanga mushrooms, ulikuwa unakatwa, ndio maana unasikia ni initiation. You're initiated into higher consciousness. Now you are a grown up, not grown up at now. Now you're initiating boys into ya. Hasa kijana akienda akikatwa foreskin na akona 10 years, ateni anaruire kanitha-ini. Kurua ni initiation. Ara initiation into what priesthood? Niki aramenyire. Niki arerirwo. But then again, hii si video ya kurua, unajua. So tutoke hapo. Stop cutting women. Hakuna deni uko nayo ya shosho yako. And my apologies to all the women who have gone through that. I apologize on behalf of all the high priestesses and high gods. My apologies for what you have been put through. But then again, it had to happen because the woman is the enemy. Maito. The truth is the enemy. So they had to attack Ito. They had to attack the truth. And one of the ways was that. Okay? Leave the cleats alone. What has got the cleat done to you? Cleat imekufanyia nini? Let the cleat roam. Let it, we like different cleats. Let them be big like noses. Others you can do guitar. Let the cleat roam and breathe. What kind of jealous God is that who needs to touch the clit? That's a very demonic God. Why is he in the sexual organs in the first place? What kind of God is looking at a woman's between her legs like, wait, I want you to pay me with that. Suitishe nywele, kitu inamea ama kucha. That sounds like a demon to me. Was Wayaki buried? His story. How can you be buried alive and you're allowed to keep your property? Who was maintaining the property? Who was maintaining his estate? Do you think you are going to have a road named after you if you are weak? Roads are not named after weak people. They are named to maintain a name. The last time I checked, you don't have a book with your name or a road with your name. So anyone who has a book name under them, they are up to something. They are maintaining something. And you're in a location where they glorify victimhood. So your story is victimhood. Dedan Kimathi. Victimhood. As a character. Tomboya. So your story is not about heroes. So your masculine will always be in victimhood. We are the victims. We have always been victim. So there's no statues of heroes. We don't have statues of real heroes. we only have statues of victims erected, and you're supposed to pay them attention and think that is important. It's nothing important about a Tomboya statue. He was shot. That's weakness. That's victimhood. However you look at it, there's no need of maintaining Dedan Kimathi. It's still victimhood. We should be maintaining victorious statues, monuments that are for victory. Shout out to Memo 1, Daniel Troy teacher of Moi. Aendelee kutawala. Let that mentality continue ruling wherever it is. So this was supposed to be a love and appreciation video. I don't even know where we are here. You guys, you are good at tricking me. Your questions, I have to be very careful with your questions. I have to be observing your questions. I'm gonna teach. I come, I teach. I don't look at your questions, and I get out. Get in, get out. Okay? Yeah. It's brutal, and we are to deny another sexual satisfaction because all animals do that. Shout out to Amanda. And leave Amanda's clit out of this. Amanda, may your clit always be sensitive to the senses. Shout out to Amanda's clit. May you have leg trembling orgasms every time it's touched or put in someone's soft, moist lips or tongue. Okay? What is the significance of Rurashio? Rurashio is just kuhereganio. Kuhereganio. Rurashio is just kuhereganio. And kuhereganio means this is spiritual because man will always be alone. Man will always Man, you'll always be a servant. I'll give you an example. When I go to the Monjiros, gahereganio na ajiro. When kuhereganio is you are mixed together. Herego ni. Do you see those old homes where they have a driveway? Na huku Nakuru, and then hizo driveways zinakuanga na pale kwa gate 2 post kwenye kuna kuanga na farasi. Alafu kuna yako miti katikati. That is herego. So kuhereganio means you have been put there, but you're not part of that. You can be removed as a pole. So you are not permanent. So wahereganio na moherega, you become their daughter's guard. You become their daughter's guard. Or you become, remember the female is queen, you become servant to that woman. For example, I become a slave servant to Monjiro and her clan. Why? I have to protect Monjiro and all her descendants. I give her seed and I protect them. But the children do not belong to me. They belong to her. Nerurira roa maito wao. Rurira. I'm only the one who lays the seed. Awanue musiari. I lay the seed, spread the seed. Whether it's on her neck, whether it's in her face, it doesn't matter. I lay the seed. She decides the seeds to keep. Kigogona kiria kiagereire. Every time you go to your woman, kiuti kigogona. Ucio ni utungata, you are just fucking her. You are just having sex with her. It only becomes a covenant when there's a child. All these other times where you are just there to serve her. Where we do gata, Odiago to gata, to give her pleasure, if you are man enough. But you just take 2 minutes and you're out, or 3 minutes. Odiago to gata. Kogo, where no you become, in the spiritual world, you become a gatekeeper. So you are neither inside, because no matter how much they love you, the in-laws, no matter how much they love you, no matter how your father-in-law, your mother, they love you, you can never be buried. Kwao. So you never belong to them. No one na. So you are just a spiritual gatekeeper. You are a soldier. Wahiriganio tuikaga muthigari. Wakuragira acio wahiriganio nao na muhiriga wao, tondu ni muhiriga wao. You get what I'm going with this? Ni muhiriga wao. Wahiriganio na ajiro. No ndunatuika wao. Tondu ndungithikwo ku, no matter what happens, you can never be buried there. So wewe as a man, you are always outside. Think of yourself as the man who's always at the gate. Na nikio ginya mũndũrũme, the house is not yours. Ũkaga ũtungata. That is why the house belongs to the female. Man, you belong there. Sentry. Nikio waingĩraga gate ũgakoraga kĩ? Gathingira. We kazi yako ni kanyumba kasoja. We kazi yako ni kuchunga na kuleta. And once in a while you come service the woman, then you get there. You get where I'm going with this? Now, kuhĩrĩganio, hau nĩkĩo hokaga rũracio, just kuhĩrĩganio. Na nĩkĩo iguaga atĩrĩrĩ, mũtumia nĩ wa mũhĩrĩga. The whole people, the whole clan nĩ wao, ti waku. So men will always be out here, wandering in the wilds. And when you're called, Priscilla Imani, ogoka, get on your knees, serve the master, and then you keep it going. And it's a privilege for a woman to allow you to have children with her. It's a privilege. It's not your right. It's a privilege. The same way, an avocado may want to give you flowers. Some will become nothing but pollen. Kiro. Others will become fruits, but they will not mature. Others will mature, drop their seeds, and the seeds will be eaten or crushed. They will not germinate. So it's a privilege on the part of a woman, but our women don't know. Our women think it's the right of a man. Arajirie de musiarire ciana inya arakwirire tau. We nĩ mũciari ũrake nĩ kwara. We nĩwe ũnkibĩtaga. Okay? So men, you are nothing. Stop feeling like, oh my God, uko nego wako, uko si kwako, ũhĩrĩganĩtio nacio. No God twarĩte rwacio mũtharanũi. You are nothing. And that is even why, if I come to your homestead today and I present dowry, your children automatically become mine. Why? Tondũ ndahĩrĩganio na mũkaguo ngoo nĩ mũcera. So mũhĩrĩgano wekĩra wĩira atĩ ni ndĩrĩte gũprotect ciana ciao. So we ũkorĩra. Na nigatuĩka mũthigari. Ngaheo kanyũmba ga soja harĩa. Ndũre na ngagira acio. Spiritual shit. Priesthood shit. The true knowledge. The good news. True knowledge. Okay? You see it in movies. The gatekeepers. Always standing guard. Looking into the horizon with blue eyes. Looking at what is coming. Tondũ nĩ akwĩre privilege. Ũkĩara mbegũ gũciara. Ũkĩara awa nĩ mũciari. Your visions, your thoughts and feelings. And so they took them into their muhirega. So kazi yako ni kukaa hapo guard. Ulelewe na muhirega na hawa watu. Because you have no home. You have no fire. We ndũrĩ mwaki. Mwaki nĩ wa mũtumia. Nĩkĩo nĩ atumia makaga. Atumia nĩo makaga. That is why the women would be building the houses, even for the Maasai. To mũtumia nĩwe wĩ mwaki. A man ndũrĩ mwaki. Wewe Leotero. Mũndũrũme ndarĩ mwaki, Leotero. The woman nĩ arĩ mwaki. Nĩkĩo women used to build. Listen, today, it's the women who build. It is the women who are the best managers. Spiritual shit. Wewe Leotero, gũtirĩ kũndũ ũtangĩwotera. No wotere Quivers, okay, no wotere ngari-inĩ yaku. No mũtumia nĩ arabatara kũgĩa mwaki nake tondũ ena ciana na maũndũ mangĩ ta mau. No story for another day. Shout out to Priscilla Imani. Talk about Usiaro na Bori for those not married by a Gikuyu. That's a whole... Nilikuwa nataka kuenda. I'm supposed to go in the next 10 minutes. Na mbona tunaambia men we are the prize. Unasikiza nani? Unasikiza Andrew Kibe. Unasikiza Andrew Kibe. Chana Andrew Kibe. Please tell us when to expect your live. I come live every day in the morning between 8 and 10. So if I'm not live at 8:30, then at exactly 9 a.m. I start. I should be doing between 8 to 10. I should be starting at 8, but sometimes I have things that come here and there, so they delay me a little bit. But I should be strict to that and strict to that routine. I'm supposed to come between 8 and 10, and then I should have another live between 2 and 4, which I've not been doing. I should be having 2 lives every day. But so it depends on the people, if the people deserve it. The Bible also says, don't cast your pearls to swine. So sometimes I look at it like, they don't need this, so why sit down a whole hour? Like I've been here for 1 hour, 40 minutes, hoping that this knowledge is going to help someone, or it's to make the world better in one way, shape, or another, because I'm getting nothing out of this. But I have to pour to get more, because information is always coming. Downloads are non-stop, especially this year, especially this Virgo. It's too much. Okay? It's not too much. Too much is given, much is required. Okay? Yeah, the swine, they wear masks. Wajiko, tutugane gatho, tugane wega. Unless nidakuhihinyire, koguo no ukijire ni gatho, unless nidakuhihinyire hari anda, and now you are a female, so unaona. But unajua pia naweza kufinya ukiwa msichana, unajua kufinya si ile tu ya pale. Unajua unaweza finya useme, mazimu msi alinifinya. Kama nimekuficha unaweza niambia ni gatho Wajiro, but bado sijakufinya. So niambie ni wega. Okay? Hata the Bible inasema the good woman builds the home. Yeah. We'll go deeper into these things. If you want us to go deeper. Unaweza oa kwa clan yote as a Kikuyu. As a man, you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. Even as a woman. Thoughts on abortion. There's nothing like abortion. Okay? No woman is guilty of abortion. The spirit that is in that woman is the one that refuses to be born. And it is more in the spiritual world, so it has more influence on the woman. It can even make her do whatever to get out of that world. It's a spirit that comes in like, oh, shit. I'm about to go into the same trials and tribulations. So it looks at the woman like this woman is weak. As a spirit starts manipulating you, it's called spiritual warfare. So instead of you committing suicide, you make, or it makes you procure the abortion, but it has got nothing to do as the woman. That thing is the one that procured the abortion. It didn't want to live. It has got nothing to do with you. So any woman walking around, you have been told you are in sin and abortion is in sin. You are not. There's no sin. There's no sin. You say that children are powerful. So where are you? If children are powerful and children are closest to God, let the children come to me. Already you are going against something more powerful than you. So how can we blame you? Understand these things. Women don't procure abortions. It is the spirits that refuse to be born. And they make the woman do whatever it takes. They manipulate the woman. You see, in the spiritual world, when it comes to spiritual warfare, there are some spirits that make you commit suicide. You make them jump out of cliffs. You may be driving. Unaona paka imekuja. A cat comes out of nowhere. You try to swerve, step on the brakes. No, the cat has aimed your wheel. Cats are very fast with reflexes. You hit the car, you're like, shit, man, I've ran over a cat. No, you didn't run over a cat. That run came specifically to be ran over by the wheels. Spiritually, it was being forced to commit suicide. Implode from within. Deep shit. Deep shit. So you go, oh my God, I ran a cat. No, you didn't run over a cat. That's why you should be spiritual and understand. Wait a minute. The cat came from which side? The right side. Okay. The cat came from which side? The left side. Okay. What was the color of the cat? This color. What was in my mind? This was my mind. Where am I coming from? Where am I going? What does the cat represent? Now you have your message. So you can do a roundabout and go back home or whatever. Or no, whatever you are supposed to attain has gone into the right way. AKA, gutire kindu gitaturagia kiria kingi. The same way you overrun that cat is the same way you eat something that was walking or that was growing to sustain you. It is the same with even you running over that cat. An eye for an eye, a life for a life. It is beneath you. There's a reason why you ran over that cat. So it didn't have to be you or someone close to you. aka you are sacrificing to the gods. But you go to church, so you didn't understand that. When the deliverance ukaombewa na Pastor Nganga, go and give Pastor Nganga all your money every Thursday. I'm here for deliverance. When will you be delivered? Every Thursday deliverance. So that means you are never delivered, because to be delivered means you are going out of that thing, deliverance. So if you keep going for deliverance, it means you have never been delivered. You are stuck in the same cycle. Shout out to Pastor Nganga. Cheers to Pastor Nganga. We should have a drink with him soon. With his own witchcraft. Children and karma, story for another day. I've been fighting. Receive hugs, Amanda. Everything has consequences. I think every woman to hear this. If goat eaters hear you, to her for security. I don't care about goat eaters. Some of them are my friends, but they have written books. They are so deep in that they'd rather be wrong than right because of what they have to lose. They have contributed so much to these books, and if it come hizo, they have too much to lose if they backtrack. So they cross their hearts, moiko mo Cristiano, or cross their fingers, or knock on wood, and just hope they are forgiven, if that is a thing. And shout out to all the goat eaters and all the men out there. You know, I have no enemies. Okay? Have you seen the spirits landing here, especially the last 2 years? We have too many spirits coming in. Shout out to my beautiful moderator. Okay. Wajikono waruga nĩ ngatho. Nĩ ngatho! So, yeah, we are in the jungle. So, now, remember we had the gratitude challenge that we did. We had the gratitude challenge. We finished the gratitude challenge. We did another challenge that was, we are working to become better versions of ourselves. It was for how many days? It was the Lions Get Something challenge. So we have another one that I'm creating. Okay. Let me see where the moon's at. So I give you the exact date when we are starting. This one will be a short, quick one. As we are speaking, we are farming like stupid. We are farming like stupid. That's the best word to use. Every day we have affirmations every day to the end of the year. Every day we have one affirmation that we say for the whole day, whichever time you want. That's on my main group, WhatsApp group. Every day I created a calendar to the end of the year. Your calendar for this year, your year 2024, because you're in those waters, not for the year where we are in Virgo. So there's another challenge. My phone crashed. I had created a program for the men. I have to create it. That took me so long. And then my phone crashed. That means that they were not ready for that. So today is the 11th Monday. So before the end of the year, before the 28th Monday, so in 3 days, today is the 11th Monday, tomorrow 12th Monday, which will be on a Saturday. Sunday, 15th, will be 13th Monday. Moon will be in Aquarius. So when the moon is in Pisces, on the 14th Monday, September 16, we have a new challenge that is going to take 14 days. So from the 14th Monday till the end of that moon, the moon goes for 28 days. So we start on the 16th of September. So for 14 days, we'll go to the end of September. So from 14 days to the end of September. That will be 14 days. We have a new challenge. 14 days is 2 times 7. So you're having 7 times 7. 7 and 7. 7, 7, which is 14, which is 5. We have a new challenge that is going to take 14 days. Okay? Before the end of that month. And Starts on 16th of September. For more details, WhatsApp group. You have my WhatsApp number. Go to the WhatsApp group. Don't come to the WhatsApp direct. Go to the WhatsApp group direct. The ones in the group. That, or you wait for the information there. That's where I'll put the information there and the donation for that. We start on the 16th of September, which will be in a few days. And in that program, we'll be activating what you call the causal chakra, which is at the back of your head upper. You have a chakra here. It's called the causal chakra. Many of you don't even know about it. Even your spiritual teachers don't know about it. It's called the causal chakra. Causal. Let's find it. Let me tell you exactly what it is so that if you're interested, the causal chakra. Well, let's start with the causal meaning. Causal means relaxed, friendly, natural. Causal chakra. So the causal chakra is what you call the casual chakra. Casual chakra. It's not official, it's casual. Casual. So it's the casual chakra, aka we'll be activating the casual chakra where your downloads or your advancement into the spiritual can be casual. You don't have to come spiritual. You don't have to be like, you have to do this like this, you have to face this. No, it's casual, where you can be enlightened, or you can self-initiate yourself into your Christ consciousness casually, without rules. Okay? So it's called the causal chakra. You can type it in your Google. Let me read a little bit about it. The expanded causal chakra. Its color is moon white. Moon white. So when we start, I'll put the instructions on what to do with the moon white. It's at the back of the skull. So it's what creates the halo. So you have seen the halo, like this behind the Christ consciousness, the halo. So if there was the halo, it means the light was coming from behind. So the head is blocking the light. So that's why it's a halo. Ni kama you are shining a torch and the head is here, so you can only see the halo. So the Christ halo, okay? So that's the causal chakra. So you are going to activate the halo in that exercise. So the expanded causal chakra is connected to the moon and it's like your own personal moon. So you'll be activating your own moon. Siile, your own moon, which radiates feminine, divine feminine light. This acts as a magnet for lunar light, drawing it directly into the four-body system. This raises your vibration and illuminates the deep feminine wisdom held within your soul. It started in 2012. It has been expanding. You understand that divine feminine is one of the most powerful energies. Okay? You can go read about it. So the moon plays a very big, important role in your life. The moon also reflects the light of the great central sun known as Helios. Helios. You've heard about Helios. So we'll be activating the 9-dimensional spiritual star, the causal chakra, or what you call the halo chakra. So even your priests, some of the people in church don't even know how to activate your halo. So tutakuwa tuna activate that halo. Tuna start on the 16th of September. In a few days. We are going to do it for 14 days. So when the full moon comes, tunaanguka nayo. It's called the casual chakra. Chakras ni mingi. It's not just the chakras that you know. So that is what will be happening. That challenge is upcoming. They show that in the Buddhist art too. Oh, okay. Shout out to Amanda. Interesting is where your hair being put up at the time and kind of, yeah, exactly. So we'll be activating the causal chakra. I'm creating it. How do we join the group? My WhatsApp number, you have to WhatsApp me on WhatsApp so that I can add you in the group. And don't join for fun. Okay, we don't just want people to come and join for fun. Okay? Yeah, don't join for fun. So if you want to join, you have to be for the 14 days to do it. Mamako ni Mungu wako hapa duniani. How true is this? No, she's not your God. You came through her. But mamako, the frequency of ma. Rogi, I'm about to end this live. It's already midday. It's already high anu. We're already in Cancer. Cancer is to do with the mother and the heart. So now, just a little bit on the mother. So the ma, mother, maito, mama, the ma frequency, ma, truth, the ma frequency, you came through the ma frequency, the mama, the mother, the ma frequency. The father is the tube frequency, modimo, the plasma, the light, the externalization, the mae, the internal. Your mother is the docking point that you came through. Okay? Your mother is, for lack of a better word, you came from your mother. So, when you became aware for the first time, when you externalize, become aware, that is when you create the masculine side. But you came from the feminine. So you came from the true, the overall. So you fell from that, and it is attached to a line. And that line, it doesn't specifically have to be good. You could have come from a demonic lineage. They are bad women, they are good women. Good is not what you call good and bad here. Okay? Your mother may have been doing whatever she did based on survival or stability or fight or flight, and she made the best choices. So give your mother grace and your father grace, but it doesn't mean that you have to love them or to entertain them, if that makes sense. Okay? Story for another day. Story for another day for that. Amanda, you can email me. If you don't have WhatsApp, you can email me. My email is Jenga. The word Jenga. You know the board game Jenga? But it starts with an N. Jenga, small letters. Jenga King, the word King. Jenga King 1. Anyone can pin my email there. Jenga King number 1 at Gmail. jengaking1 at gmail.com. You can email me. NJENGAKI, yes, that one, Rogi. jengaking1 at gmail. That's my email. So you can email on that. So, shout out to everyone who will be activating their casual chakra. This will enable you to come into consciousness even when you don't even mean it. So, the great central sun, which is what you call Helios, the father, which reflects the small sun that you see. So this 9-dimensional spiritual star sends light to earth via our sun. I told you that our sun is just a filtration, the atmosphere between what is above there and us. The sun is not even physical. So during the full moon periods, the powerful silver light pours into the minds of humanity and affects people profoundly, creating huge shifts in enlightenment in preparation for the new golden age. So the casual allows a two-way flow of energy and light from the angelic realms. So this brings the angelic vibration to the individual and anchors it permanently. So when we activate the casual chakra, you'll be activating archangels like Christiel, who is in charge of the development of the casual chakra. Okay? So I'll put a little writing on what you'll be getting into before we even start it. Starts on the 16th. So, do have a beautiful day. Friday. Love and appreciation. It's a Friday. I have to take a break 15 minutes and then go into my only the subscriber only. I have some videos for the subscriber only people that I have to put up, like just 3 videos, but they have information on how to cleanse your house. So there's a reason why in the Bible they talk about the salt. There's a reason why you are told you are the salt of the world. Demons love the salt. So the reason you are possessed by demons is because you have salt inside your body. So there are rituals that you have to know why they say use salt in the house. So they have been making you do rituals for salt in the wrong way. So for the subscriber only video, there will be a video there on how to use salt to cleanse your house and how it's supposed to be done specifically, where if you deny these entities of this spirit salt, they just die. Or if they can't jump into you, since you are the salt of the world, they jump now into the salt. I remind you how you prepare that. So instead of jumping into you, they jump into that salt. And at that particular moment, where you're just sitting still, you're not even moving. Remember the movie Ghostbusters, where they are coming and they used to use those guns and, trap the spirits, and then they would throw a box, open the box, and put the ghost in the box and capture it. Think about that spiritually now, where your salt trap, a trap made of salt, will be trapping the spirits in your house. They go into that salt instead of jumping into you because you are the salt of the world, and now you can take that salt and go dispose it. How to exorcise your house your own way, without all the spookyism, without calling the pastors, without all this drama, just using salt. That's for the subscriber only video. Do have a beautiful day. The live won't end. How do I subscribe? Subscription on TikTok. That will be on TikTok. TikTok has subscription where you go and you pick an option. I think there's $5 for a month. I think I have $6.8 a month, or 8, or even 9. I think I even have 12 or something. Just a subscription. You just go and you subscribe on TikTok, so you can see those videos that other people can see them. Okay, but for the causal activation thing for the WhatsApp group, that's for WhatsApp. That one, the donation will be M-Pesa donation. That's an M-Pesa donation thing, because that we'll be doing as a group. Okay. Shout out to everyone in the space. Each one, teach one. Do have a beautiful, amazing day. You are beautiful people. There are people who try to make you feel ugly. This world is beautiful because we know people who are on yachts, private yachts. They park their private boats. They fly to helicopter-only parties in Monaco. So they are in heaven down here. And you can also be in heaven down here just like them. But you have to create a community whereby we are the new world, where this kind of conversations become the conversation that can get us into those positions, where whatever you are speaking about is more for bringing the people together, the community together, the healing together, so we can heal together and thrive together like they do in their soul groups. So we create our own communities. Each one teach one. Sasa, you have a beautiful one.